Quick review of what we did. So, well, we started out, I did promise you we would find the biggest G's survived on record. We did that. It was negative 101. Holy smokes. We said when you're in free fall, what that means, Maliko, is the only force acting you starts with letter G and rhymes with gravity. Starts with letter G and rhymes with gravity. What's the only force acting on you when you're in free fall? Starts with letter G and it rhymes with gravity. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Gravity. Okay? So if gravity is the only force acting on you, we're ignoring air resistance, then you are going to accelerate at negative 9.8. How can you be going up and accelerating down at negative 9.8? Because on the way up, what's happening to your speed? You're slowing down, that's accelerating downwards. We looked at a question where we dropped an object from a cliff. We said that if you drop an object, you can assume VI is 0. Then we looked at a question where we launched an object up from a ground. We're going to combine them. Let's throw an object, but not from the ground. Let's launch an object from a cliff. A ball is thrown straight up from a cliff at 12.5 meters per second. It hits the ground at the base of the cliff after 8.85 seconds. I'm going to draw a little picture over here. What we're talking about is the ball goes straight up and then whomp. So the person leaned out into midair, Kanan, and threw it up so that it didn't land back on the cliff. It kept going past the cliff and hit the ground below. And hit the ground below. That below is going to be a pretty important word. Kanan, what's they asking me to find? What's A asking me to find in terms of the 5 variables from the 4 kinematics equations? There's not an H in there. What's it asking me to find in the, look at your kinematics equations. There's a VF, there's a VF. What's it asking me to find as that variable? You know this, you're just tired first thing in the morning. You got this. Don't turn the page. We're on the kinematics equations. We're on the 3rd line down, dude. Help them out, folks. What's it asking us to find? D. Now you're sheepishly going, right, yes? And it's going to be a displacement. What does that mean? What am I expecting for my answer? Am I ending up above or below from where I started? Am I expecting a positive displacement or a negative displacement? I'll expect that ahead of time. Okay, now, Kanan, let's list our data. Let's go D equals. I'll remind myself I'm going to get a displacement by putting the vector sign on there. Kanan, what's that 12.5? What are the units next to that 12.5? So it's a velocity. Is that VI or VF? What's that 8.85? Good. Problem. That's only 2 things. I need 3 things to find a 4th. Oh, how fast is it going when it hits the ground? If you're going to say 0, I'm going to ask you to do a belly flop from your lab table onto the cement and tell me it doesn't hurt. I don't know VF. What else do I know? Because we're in free fall. What is the acceleration exactly as a number, even though the question didn't tell me? Yes. Well done. Canon, I'm looking for an equation. It's got a D, a VI, a T, and an A in it. There is one. Oh, it's going to be on the 3rd line down in that row of 4 that we've been staring at, not on the back page. And nothing cancels this time. VI isn't 0. What do I want to get by itself in this equation, Kanan? What am I trying to find? Woohoo! It's already by itself. So plug and chug. It's going to be 12.5 times 8.85 plus 0.5 times negative 9.8 times 8.85 squared. And the nice thing is, remember, this equation is finding a displacement. It's finding the change in position. It's going to find from here to here. It's going to, this equation takes into account the fact that you went upwards for a while and then came back downwards for a while. It handles all of that for me. I don't need to break this up into chunks. I can go straight into one calculation. So once you've written that down, all of you are going to get your calculators out. Kanan, you as well, and you're going to tell me what you get. I have no idea. Negative 273. Anybody else? You need a nod. I got a nod? Yeah. meters. Now, if you didn't get that, first thing you want to check, make sure you didn't miss the squared. Often kids forget that because they've been so careful and meticulous typing everything in, they relax right there and they're just not as careful. It's often the last character. Now, if you wanted to report it as a height, you could say positive 273 meters. I'll take either. My answer might make it positive because technically a height is positive if you're looking at my answer key, but I'll take either one. Cool. B. I like B. I like B. I like B. Megan, what's B asking me to find? Okay, I think we want to find up here. Okay, so what variable is it asking me to find, Kanan, when it says height? We're going to get a displacement. Sure, let's go D equals question mark. Megan, can I still say that VI is, what was VI? 12.5? Can I still say that? I think so. Is it still in free fall once it leaves my hand? So A is negative 9.8. Can I use the T equals 8.85? Is it at the top after 8.85 seconds? Ooh, I need one more thing. So what did we say at the, yeah, what do you remember? At the top for a split second, your V final is going to be 0. It does come to a stop for a split second. So now I would say I'm looking for an equation that has a D, a VI, an A, and a VF in it. There is one. Yeah, it's the squared. You can write that if you want to, or if you want to, you can try and get the D by itself in your head right now. Talk me through it, Megan. Yep. 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 You get a little nerdy adrenaline rush? Mommy, look what I can. It's going to be 0 squared minus 12.5 squared all over 2 times negative 9.8. By the way, are we expecting a positive displacement or a negative displacement this time? Oh, yeah, we're definitely above from where we started. I'm positive. See what I did? Okay. Oh, I've made a typo. I missed the decimal point after the 9, and I would have caught that because I would have said, I think it went higher than 0.79 meters. So again, look at your calculator and try and interpret the answers. You will make typos as we're typing more and more stuff, but you can often catch them. I'll often try and give you some ballpark ideas of what's too big and too small. Oh, and so you can, I don't think it's right. Did you get 7.97 meters? Which is wrong. For a candy, can anybody tell me why this is not the maximum height of the ball? What? Okay. You know what? Since we're already starting on a cliff, we need that. How can I figure that out? Oh, what did I find in part A, Kanan? Of what? Ah, so if I want to find the total height of the ball above the ground, I'm going to use H for height. It's going to be the 7.97 plus the 273. Isn't it? Is that okay, Maliko? Right? That's the 7.97. That's the 273. I think the total height is, add them up. By the way, you may want to sketch that little terrible sketch that I've done there to help you kind of visualize. It's up to you. Ooh, what did we get? I'll scroll back up in a second, but let me get the answer. Plus 200, plus 273. Do we get 281? Yeah. Which makes sense because what I've said to you, Megan, is this D now, it's finding a displacement. At the top, all it found was your change in position, which was only 7.97 meters. It doesn't know that you want to measure from the ground. The universe is saying, okay, you started on the cliff. I'll assume that's where we're starting from. Okay. Example, oh, there's a C. Alexis, what's C want me to find? What is the answer not equal to when we hit the ground? It's not zero. Where is the only place the velocity is zero? At the top for a split second. Okay, VF equals question mark. Can I still use VI as 12.5? I think so. I think I can still use A equals negative 9.8. Oh, can I use that 8.85 seconds again? Is that how long we've been traveling when we hit the ground? Oh, I think I gave you a low ball. Which equation? What do I need to get by itself? What already is? Oh, okay. Some predictions I want to make, though. When we hit the ground, what direction are we traveling? Am I expecting a negative or a positive answer? If I get a positive answer, I've probably made a typo. 12.5 plus negative 9.8 times 8.85. Did you get negative 74.23? I'll go negative 74.2. Yeah. Meters per second. What if, standing on this cliff, instead of throwing it up at 12.5 meters per second, what if I threw it downwards at 12.5 meters per second? How could I show that in my VI that I was throwing it downwards? Negative. All right. Oh, example 5. Really similar to example 4, except now we're throwing it straight down. So, okay. What's A asking me to find? I think it's asking me to find a displacement again. By the way, this time if I drew a picture, I think it's just going straight down. It's not going up at all. What's VI? I'll give you a hint. It's not 26.5. What's VI? It can't be 26.5. What's VI? What two words did I underline? So what's VI? Oh, it's negative 26.5. Yes? Oh, and then we're still in free fall. A is negative 9.8. Oh, and then T is 6.85. And Dallas, I think it's now exactly the same as the one you and I, no, it's, who did I do it with? Canaan. It's exactly the same as the one you and I did, finding the displacement. It's the same variables. It's going to be the same equation. Which equation, Canaan? Find it faster this time. AT squared. I need to get the D by itself. It already is. It's going to be negative 26.5 times 6.85 plus 0.5 times negative 9.8 times 6.85. Don't forget the squared. And again, the lovely thing about this equation, because it's giving me a displacement, again, Ronan, it's taking into account the fact that we threw it downwards, not upwards. It deals with all of that, which, that's just nice. When the universe cooperates, I kind of like that. Oh, are we ending up above or below from where we started here? I'm expecting a positive or a negative displacement here. If I get a negative, I'll relax. Did I got negative 411? Need some nods? Yeah. Robin, you got it this time, first time? You got everything typed in right this time? Okay. What was it last time that you... Yeah, that happens to... Again, we make typos, and so I'll always try and give you a ballpark. Hopefully, it should be about this. I'll show you tricks of the trade as we learn more physics. Negative 411 meters. What's the maximum height of the ball? Also 411 meters because it didn't go up at all this time. Oh, if you wanted to report it as a height, or in my answer key, I might report it as positive 411, and I'll take either on the test. I'm not that fussy yet. Ooh, Owen, what's B want me to find? How far? What physics concept? What variable from those equations is it wanting me to find? After 2.5 seconds, are we above or below from where we started? Am I going to expect a positive or a negative answer? Let's jump on in. You know what? It's going to be almost the same thing. D equals question mark. VI is still negative 26.5. A is still negative 9.8. What's the only thing that's changed? T. That equals 2.5. Now, here's what that means, by the way. Owen, do you have a good calculator? I'm going to be lazy but organized. I noticed that the only thing that's changed is the time. I'm going to bring back the previous line, and I'm just going to backspace and edit. Instead of 6.85, it's going to be 2.50. Instead of 6.85, it's going to be 2.50. There. If you can figure out how to bring back your previous line and you notice, oh, all Dueck's done is changed one thing, again, figure out how to make your calculators sing a little bit. I got negative 96 point what? 9. Yes, not 8. Negative 96.9. And Robin, on a quiz or a test, I would have shown all my work just in case. This is how I would have done it in my homework. I might have said, oh, it's the same question, Dueck. I'm just going to backspace and edit and go straight to the answer. Next. Oh, well, what's C want me to find? The impact velocity wants me to find VF. What is VF not when we hit the ground? No. Okay. VF equals question mark. VI was negative 12.5. A was negative 9.8. Oh, how long did it take to hit the ground? I think they told me, but I've forgotten. Not 4 point whatever, not 2.5. What was it? Oh, 6.85? Yes? Okay. I don't know. I'm going, oh, negative 26.5. I was mixing up the last question and this question. It is negative. This is what happens. I can't see my data above me. You have an advantage because you can see the whole paper in front of you. That's why I have to scroll up and down so much. Oh, Colton, welcome back. You got your green sheet. I'm looking for an equation that's got a VF, a VI, an A, and a T in it. There is one. What do I want to get by itself? What already is by itself? I insulted you with the low ball. I should have given you a tougher question. Sorry. VF equals VI plus AT. It's going to be negative 26.5 plus negative 9.8 times 6.85. Negative 26.5 plus negative 9.8 times 6.85. Oh, Colton, let's be obvious. When we hit the ground, right when we hit the ground, what direction are we traveling? Upwards or downwards? I'm expecting a positive or a negative velocity. I better get a negative or I've made a typo. Negative 93.6? Okay. Meters. per second. I'm going to pause here. I already said you can do 1 through 6. I'm going to finish this lesson off when I see you folks next class. But for now, if you want to get a head start, you can now do number 7. You can now do number 8. Ooh, can I, Mr. Dueck? This one, put a little star next to those two. Those ones are tricky. Number 9 you can do. What are they asking you to find in number 9? I haven't done one like that, but I'm going to say if you list your data, find an equation, get the VI by itself. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm not going to go do an example of every single possible permutation of all 4 equations. There's 16 different. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you see if you can figure some of this stuff out, okay? Going to just pause there. We're going to do more in a second, but first let me pause the video, and then you can put your pencils down.